What's going on, boys and girls? Dave back again, and today we're doing a kind of review slash versus, and this is going to be the Master Grade Barbatos versus the High Grade. Now, anybody that already has both of these already knows this guy has been kind of, and I use kind of loosely, sitting on my shelf since I ended up building him up. Let's go over the real quick differences before I get into this. With the Master Grade, you actually get clear parts for the shoulders, the chest, and the knees. The High Grade, you get stickers for the shoulders, the chest, the knees. Proportions, you can tell, are highly off on here. The V-fin looks completely different, and I actually don't remember which version that this guy is. I know I have the Lupus, and I know that I have, what, 2 others? But this is the one that I ended up finding in the box on the shelf that looks closer to this one. So before we get into the meat and potatoes of this one, how stable? Oh look, he's still kind of standing. He just did the splits. Yeah, this guy, he might as well just go in the garbage bin. Like, I can't even get him to stay standing up. Like, if I set him up, like, look how floppy these feet are on the High Grade. Like, this was fine. This was fine when it's all there was. But now that there's this one, like, the only thing that ended up happening to this one doing that was his little fingers came off over there. This guy, he's a complete wreck. Like, I don't even know what to say. So he is going over there. For right now, this is the guy that we're going to be looking at. Okay, so I have to say, it's been a while since I built a Gundam that I actually enjoyed sitting down, spending time, and building. There's so many Zaku's and RX-78s and new Gundams and so on and so forth that it was a nice change to have a Master Grade that wasn't an ashtray, that wasn't something else. I truly enjoyed building this. I normally don't do reviews, and I won't get into the full meat and potatoes of all of the gimmicks and everything. All I can say at this that this is a definite buy. I'm going to go over some of the features here real quick, and I'm not going to do a lot of poses. I'm not going to do a lot of that. If you want something like that, go over to Mecha Gaiatsu's channel. He does a great review on this. So one of the features I do really like is it does have individual pistons for all the different little sections. So on this, you get a rotating shoulder joint, and it actually pulls out both that back piston and this piston over here. I really like that feature. So here is it in action with the arm on. As I said in the beginning, you do have clear parts for the shoulders, the chest, and the knees. I would probably suggest using a silver paint for backing on this, just to make it flash up. You get a nice flip up on here and some movement. On the arms, you get more pistons. There are a lot of pen lines and details on here. And as you can see in the shoulder, you have a bracket over here with the female side and the male side of a piston. I actually have to say that the coating that is on the pistons is actually pretty good. It's not chrome, it's kind of a matte silver. But if you want to strip those off, I've actually gotten a couple of questions. Just do the same way that you would for any of the chrome parts that you would normally strip off of Bandai kits. You can probably use 99% alcohol, just let it soak. I know you can use simple green, you can use purple power, all of that will strip that off right away. You get nice range of movement. You get this nice joint that's here in the wrist, and it's kind of unique how it is. It's kind of hinged on there, so you have a loop that goes down, so it's not going to end up falling out. You get a nice rotation all the way 360. The thumb is kind of funky. I do wish that there was a joint in the thumb just so that it molded better to weapons and things like that. You do get different hands. You get a fist, and they're really simple to swap out. You get open fingers, and I know I have those on the wrong hand, but it actually ends up working. So you get open fingers, and you have weapon holding hands. For the head, it's kind of unique. So you do have clear parts for the eyes. You can actually lift up. This whole section will come loose, you have a rotation and you have a good amount of movement in the head itself. You just slide that in, pop it down, you're good to go. So it doesn't look all derpy, it doesn't have an oversized neck. In the waist section, you actually have good rotation, but you also have these pistons for nice side to side. It doesn't have a whole lot of side to side movement. It has a lot of forward to back. But it doesn't have a whole lot to side. But it does have a nice movement. It does flow nicely. You have the hip joints on here. You have the flaps. You have the flaps that open up for the legs. These could be a little tighter, but I do like, if you look at that, there is a lot of movement that's in that toe piece. Like, you can pretty much put it in any pose that you want. This shifts, this piece does shift just like this, and you get nice rotation in the foot. So like I said, you can pretty much put these feet in any position that you want. You can kind of lock that in this section up here. You get the hip joint, you can bend, and that's about it for there. But you can take this piece, shift it down, and now you can get even more bend. These pieces right here are shiftable. And for the backside, you can see the pistons that are in there. You have hosing and details there. You've got lots of vents, everything. This is going to look great painted up. You have a plug right there. You have plugs here and here. These panels right here actually slide out so that you can slide weapons into them. And then on the backpack, you have this vent that will actually pop open just like that. And then these, of course, will pop out and be able to shift around. And here we are. You can see what kind of pose I have him in. Both of his feet are flat on the ground, and he is very stable. Like, I have him pretty much on the toes on this foot, but he's nice and stable. And I haven't had any issues with this guy falling over. Now, I'm not going to put him into the pose that I want him in for a little diorama thing that I'm planning, and you guys will see why. Some of you will actually end up crying because, well, I'll show you what I end up doing as I go through the build. I'm kind of excited to do it, but it's going to involve gluing and perma setting the position that he's in. Before I forget, this is going to be your smoothbore gun. So this is going to be the smoothbore gun for the master grade, and then we have the smoothbore gun for the high grade. A little bit different colors. You can see that there are different shapes all the way around. This one, of course, is a lot better. This one will get saved for some other kit in the future. Who knows? I don't plan on using this one for the diorama that I'm doing, but maybe. So to fold it out, you're going to slide it out, fold it around, slide it back in. There you go. This is movable, and then this is going to open up so that you can attach it to the bracket on the backpack. But yeah, so this is the smoothbore gun. So this is going to be your mace. I do not know where the mace is for the high grade one. Who knows? But so here is your mace. It does have the spike that slides out for piercing, and it does have these individual blades that will come off of the mace for holding, but those are going to get glued in and secured. Here you have the sword, which I actually really like this version. And then you have this one that's for the high grade, and you can tell the high grade one is about twice as thick as the master grade one, and it's just different all the way around. This part doesn't belong on there because that's for attaching to the backpack. They are about the same length, just a little bit longer, but better all the way around. So that was my half-ass review of the master grade Barbatos. Yeah, that was a half-ass review. If you like this video and you want to see more half-ass reviews, go ahead and click that like button right about there. Click that subscribe button right about there. And I have never claimed to be a full-on reviewer. Like, I seriously know going into this that this is going to be like kind of a wacky ass review. It's just my outlook on it. I will tell you if it's crappy and if there's crappy issues. We already saw that with the high grade. But yeah, I think this is definitely a pickup if you're a fan, or if you're just tired of building the same old things and you want to build something new. Go ahead and pick this guy up. I will put a link down below to where I ended up getting this, so easy peasy on that. Stay tuned because I will be posting up little short videos of how I'm going to end up modifying this. I'm going to try and defy gravity. That's all I'm going to say for right now. I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, YouTube.